fight this year, and his other two fights this year, in February and March respectively, he had knockout wins. So he's got a bit of pop too, but he's having a little problem with Lopez. Lopez seems to have much more power than Hidalgo possesses at this stage of the fight. We're only in round number 2. PS4 on the round card there. That's PlayStation 4, one of the sponsors, along with the Tecate, as you see on the map. Top-ranked boxing. Hidalgo didn't come in here to just lay down for this Tiger Box Championship. José Lopez holds the title, the undefeated kid. But Hidalgo has come to fight. He has a tendency to put his head down when he throws punches, and he's paid the price with some decent uppercut shots by José Lopez. But Hidalgo's not having a bad round here. There'll be a very partisan crowd here from the Puerto Rican Day weekend that is going on. Tomorrow being Puerto Rican Day, and they have a huge parade here in New York City, and goodly number of those people will be out here at Madison Square Garden to cheer their favorite son, Miguel Cotto, who's fighting for the 6th time here. This is his second home. I think he's fighting 7th. He loves it. He's had 6 fights here. Ricky's not pulling on the head. 30 seconds to go now in the second round of the scheduled 8-round affair. WBC Super Bantamweight Tiger Box Championship at 122 pounds. President of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, is in attendance. Something is bothering Hidalgo right now. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he shook his head. Closing seconds now of this, the second round. A decent round for old Hidalgo.
No bigger place to start an iconic fight week in New York City than on top the Empire State Building. And both fighters took very different journeys to get to this point. For Miguel Cotto from Puerto Rico, starting his career as a great amateur, an Olympian, working his way up the boxing ranks to become world champion in 3 different divisions. For Sergio Martinez, from very humble beginnings in Argentina, not even starting boxing till he was 20 years old, working his way up to world champion in his 30s, and now the middleweight king. For both fighters on Saturday night, they're looking to cement their legacy in different ways. For Miguel Cotto to become the first Puerto Rican to win 4 titles in 4 different divisions. And for Sergio Martinez to cement his legacy as the middleweight king and to stamp his ticket into Boxing Hall of Fame.
All right, Christina, from the high atop the Empire State Building here in New York City. We're in Madison Square Garden as the crowd continues to filter in here. We've got one more fight on the streaming portion of our show, and that will feature the sensational Felix Verdejo against Ingilberto Valenzuela, who is from Agua Prieta in Mexico, a 9-1 fighter against the undefeated Felix Verdejo after this. And this one, fairly even after 2 rounds. I thought that Hidalgo had a real decent second round after I thought Lopez more or less controlled the first round with power shots. Lopez in the blue trunks with the gold trim, the red stars. Hidalgo in black with those actually red, white, and green trim going down, the significant of the flag of Mexico. Colonel Bob Sheridan here was streaming live on TopRank.com from Madison Square Garden in New York City. And if you're watching in the United States, you know the New York Rangers are in the playoffs, the Stanley Cup Championship final round. And they still get the ice down here in the Garden because Game 3 will be back here out of Los Angeles, and it's freezing in here. But when the crowd gets in, I'm sure it'll warm up considerably. But you know, these fighters are in the 3rd round, and neither one of them has really a big sweat glistening on them that you would expect fighters to have. They better be well warmed up when they come out here tonight. Some hand speed shown by Lopez, and anytime the Puerto Rican fighter rises to the occasion, so too do the fans here in Madison Square Garden. By the way, I'm informed that in the first period, the Rangers and LA Kings scoreless first period. Feigning as Hidalgo with that left hand, doesn't do anything with it. Trying to maneuver Lopez around. Lopez now back into his own corner. Slides down the ropes to get out of there. This kid, for a guy in his 13th professional fight, knows exactly what he wants to do. That time he wanted to counter off the ropes. He needs to throw a few more punches in the rounds. He sits down well on his punches, and that he throws them with a lot of power. Hidalgo doing almost a bit of jump boxing, but the power shots landing by Lopez, that can cause problems in the scoring by the judges. It depends on if they want volume or they want power. I thought the powerful punches of Lopez gave him the first round. The second round I gave to Hidalgo, and the third one's up for grabs. I think the judges will be split on that one, so I'll put 10-10 on my score sheet, even though I know the judges won't do it. This is all Lopez. And probably 2 of the 3 judges will give it to Lopez, so maybe I should switch that around to indicate that way too. As you remember, I'm not scoring officially, I'm just giving you an idea of how I think the judges might be seeing it. So. Both of these guys are in magnificent condition. Neither one of them huffing and puffing after 3. This is scheduled for 8, so they're going to run out of rounds in a hurry. As we move to round number 4, the Colonel Bob Sheridan here. TopRank.com. Christina Poncha and Larry Merchant will be joining me for the big show when we go live around the world on our international show. So you that are watching us streaming right now, figure out a way to get over there. And in the United States, of course, you can catch the fight. Worldwide, you hear us and see us on the international show, which will be exciting tonight. I'm excited about a couple of fights here. I want to see Andy Lee from Ireland, see how he handles the power from John Jackson. His dad, former middleweight champion of the world. The Vasquez Jr., Marvin Sansona, they say Sansona has cleaned up his act, partying a little bit too much, but they say he's cleaned all that up, and he's ready to really go to war with Vasquez Jr., who stopped him in 4 rounds in the first fight. Vasquez is very highly emotional right now, and then of course Cotto has to prove if he can do it as a middleweight, and Martinez, if, at his age, he still has the power that he had. And so many of those great knockouts that we saw, Paul Williams, Teddy Pavlik, and on and on. Very quick on his feet is José Lopez. Moving around well, and he's trying to get this guy to come in so he can counter him. So he reaches downstairs. Short upstairs, short to the chest. Gotta throw some more right hands, says Lopez. Hidalgo forcing the fight, lands a decent left hook. Lopez, with his waiting from time to time, he seems to be making this a little bit more difficult on himself. Hidalgo is aggressive all the time, comes forward all the time, throws a lot of punches. Landed a decent left hand that time, one of the better exchanges, and certainly in the 4th round. Again, the waiting by Lopez, waiting, he can feel those ropes up against his back, so that's where he wants to be. He doesn't slide one way or the other, doesn't walk off. When he does decide to move, he does it with a jab. Then he stops again. chin up there, trying to get Hidalgo to come in and commit himself so he can counter him with something. Wide with the right hand that time was José Lopez. But these rounds are tough to score. I'm giving that round to Hidalgo because he was a little bit more aggressive, that's all.
Introducing TopRank.com, an all-new way to provide fans with the ultimate in boxing entertainment. Watch live events, get breaking news, and chat with fighters, fans, and boxing personalities. Download our free iOS app, Top Rank TV. Or enjoy TopRank.com on your mobile device or tablet. TopRank.com is available any place, on any device. Exclusive, interactive, accessible. TopRank.com. This is boxing.
So we're back on live shot now here as we get ready to go to round number 5. The Colonel Bomb Sheridan here on TopRank.com. Our principals, José Lopez and Raul Hidalgo. On this, the night of the WBC World Middleweight title fight between Miguel Cotto and Sergio Martinez. This place will be rocking with all the Puerto Rican fans here. And here we go to round number 5. To the right of your screen, José Lopez from Carolina and Puerto Rico. Raul Hidalgo now to the right of your screen from Casas Grandes, Chihuahua, Mexico. I'll tell you, Jose would be well advised from his corner to get a little bit busier now. And to pick up the pace, this fight is closer than what he may think it is right now. In my opinion, anyway. I get this thing dead even. Lopez won the first and the third, and I thought that Hidalgo won the second and the fourth on just volume of punches. Because at this stage, Lopez's punches that I thought were so much more heavy in the first round are not as heavy right now as they once were, at least apparently they're not. And Hidalgo, with all of his experience, moving around quite a bit. Hidalgo has a tendency to hesitate and wait. Both of these guys in a waiting game from time to time. Hidalgo in the black trunks to the right of your screen. Lopez seems to be a real ring technician in that he seems to be very astute as to what he wants to do, and Hidalgo more of a guy that just lets it fly. And now Lopez, who fights in spurts, picks up the pace a little bit more here, but then stops again right in the center of the ring. Pause. This guy scored 10 knockouts in his 12 professional fights, but Hidalgo is probably the best opponent that he's had, certainly the most experienced. Hidalgo's 5 years older, and his 34th professional fight. This is his 33rd professional fight in the total. Crowd getting a little antsy because it's a boxing match as opposed to the brawl that they came here to see. And also, in the first 3 fights of the evening here, that the real aficionados have been here for a couple of hours already. We've seen 3 knockouts in the first round, so a little bit more excitement here in terms of what boxing fans are. Not what the average fan wants to see. I suppose you give Lopez that because Hidalgo didn't do a heck of a lot in that round. This is one of these fights where I'm going to leave it to the judges. I'll get Lopez out in front of the fight, but
¿Ya viste que no te va a noquear? No te... Con el jab, él camina para atrás. Con el jab tuyo, él camina para atrás. ¿Está bien? Mirando. Mirando.
tell you, both fighters are going to be in great shape because neither one of them is doing much heavy breathing. As we get ready for round number 6 in this Schedule 8 round affair with the FECAR Box Championship on the line at 122. Lopez slightly out in front of my score sheet, but we'll see how the judges themselves have it. Nobody's been shaken. Nobody been down. No cuts. No headbutts. And no clinches. All boxing. Jab, jab, hook. He lets this guy just waltz into the kill zone, but he doesn't throw a power shot. When a guy comes in without throwing punches into the hit zone, cuts loose with the right hand. He uses the jab a lot. It's a decent jab, but he's got to throw more right hands. Talking about Lopez to the right of your screen. Raul Hidalgo sets up in front of him, not doing much throwing himself right now. In the first minute of round 6, Lopez taking advantage of that. Jab, jab. Lopez hits him that time in the shoulders and the elbows. The crowd again begins to get antsy because they want to see some flush shots, and we're not seeing that by either fighter. They're, just as I say that, nice, really stiff left hand bounced the head back of Hidalgo. Hidalgo just not landing anything here in the 6th round. They had him, pretty much really in the fight up until this point. And the boxing of Lopez kind of taking command here. Had him in position and dropped that big right hand, but couldn't quite pull the trigger and get it on the left side of the skull of Raul Hidalgo. Hidalgo now comes back and tries to do something with his jab, but where are his right hands? Blocked on the gloves. Much of this fight is going to come down to the judges scoring and who's been the busiest, and certainly in this round it's José Lopez. Ricky Gonzalez has watched the head coming in. That's the shot he wants to land, but both times that he's executed with the double jab and then the right hand, when he had Hidalgo in position, he couldn't land the right hand at the side of the head behind the ear. Uppercut, left hook. That was a nice combination by Lopez. This is one of the best rounds since the first round that Lopez has had. Did a lot more boxing. Here comes the bell to end round 6.
Is not just a mega fight in the Garden, but it represents all that is right with the sport of boxing. In boxing's modern age, it's visible that fans are displeased with the current state of the sport. One only has to go online to see that these fights aren't getting made. One fighter won't fight another fighter. This promotional company won't work with that promotional company. And networks are showing preferential treatment towards managers, advisors, and promoters. In order to make Cotto Martinez happen, 5 different promoters had to work together despite their differences. So let's hope that this current promotion shows the boxing world and fans that when promoters and fighters can work together, fans will surely reap the benefit.
All right. I certainly would agree with Christina Poncher on that one. The fans will reap the benefits of 5 different promoters putting this thing together. All right, we go to round number 7 here at the WBC Super Bantamweight 122-pound FECAR Box Championship. That's one of those WBC lesser titles for young fighters. Mostly involves the Latino fighters. So here we go. Round 7 is underway at Madison Square Garden in New York. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. You've seen Christina as we getting ready to move closer to our main show of the evening. We've got one more fight that we really want to see. This Felix Verdejo, the sensational undefeated former Olympian, a top-ranked fighter who they think is going to be terrific. He's a work in progress, but he's a mighty good work in progress. José Lopez from Carolina in Puerto Rico is also undefeated. Came in looking like the late Hector Camacho with a cape and a mask and a hood. Watch the head again. Left hook again. Solid off the hands of José Lopez. Maybe able to hear the crowd reaction. A lot of that has to do with the styles of these two fighters. They fight almost exactly the same. And Hidalgo's not real busy right now. He was busy through the second, fourth round. He had a couple of decent rounds, I thought, but in the last couple of rounds, for some reason, Hidalgo has just stopped throwing a lot of punches. Lopez has jumped on that. Lopez doesn't commit to the right hand. He was reaching with the right hand the first time and missed, and then reached again the second time and missed. Lopez is trying to get Hidalgo in the black trunks to come into him so he can maybe counter with the right hand. But at some stage, he's got to throw his ears back and just go after him with that right hand. Throw about 3 of them in a row and see if he can get his attention. Too much strategy for the average fan of this fight. It's working for Lopez. And Lopez has got 10 knockouts in his 12 professional wins, but he's in against a guy that's got 21 victories. That's a very experienced fighter, a 25-year-old kid in his 33rd professional fight tonight. We mentioned this has been his toughest test to date for José Lopez, but in reality he's handled it well because he's outboxed this guy. It just hasn't been a thrilling fight to watch. Closing seconds now in the 7th round, and this will be another José Lopez round. You want to see a ring technician? Well, that's what you're seeing tonight with this guy.
Estamos en el último. Estírame. ¿Ah? Tranquilo. Escúchame. Los errores se arreglan en el gimnasio. ¿Está bien? Antes. Está bien, ese es el último round, ¿eh? Tú lo has aprendido más de lo que está aprendido. Es el último round, touch gloves. Vamos a echarle todos los chutes. Es el último. Último round, no aguantes. Pensando en lo que vas a hacer. Dale, que no te toque. Seconds out!
Look at Hidalgo from Mexico has put in, a tough 7 rounds for him, and boy, he's not huffing and puffing, and neither is José Lopez. So they're both in magnificent shape for this fight, and let's see if Lopez can continue to dominate now as he has in the past 2 or 3 rounds over Hidalgo, who just isn't busy enough. Hidalgo with his back to you from Mexico in the black trunks, facing you now to the right of your screen is José Lopez from Carolina in Puerto Rico. Decent uppercuts. Wild windmill shot by Hidalgo. Sails over the head of Lopez. Then he phased Lopez. He gets set back up again, and this is what we expected. Lopez started this way and showed some heavy hands in the first round, and now he's putting the right hand behind that jab a little bit more here in the 8th and final round. Maybe he just concerned he hasn't fought a lot into the 8th round. Hidalgo has, though. He's been 10 rounds against him. Wild with that left hand that sails over the head of Lopez. Gets himself set back up again. No accuracy now for Raul Hidalgo with his left hook. Misses it again. That's the 4th time he's missed it, and the 5th time. He grazed him with that one, and the 6th miss, and the 7th miss with the hook. Why not try and throw the right hand now? See if you can catch him with that. You haven't been able to catch the left hook. Because lets that one slide by the gloves too. Well, both guys committing to the left hook, and neither one of them landing very many. No urgency by Hidalgo, who I have behind in the fight. And not a lot of urgency by Lopez, who can't be comfortable that he's too far ahead. Now some blood trickles from the left nostril of Raul Hidalgo. Strange attack that time where he went in with, looked like he was going to jab, then he had his right foot in line with his left foot and was all squared up and was totally out of sync. But that assault was Lopez. Lopez, I see a lot of skill, but he needs a lot of work too. But again, he's only 20 years of age, so let's give him a break. Likes to fight off the ropes. He's throwing his right hand with a little bit more authority here. He's missed that shot. He's had it set up on, I would say 7 or 8 different occasions where he's got the left to go by the ear and then ready to land the right hand and just hasn't been able to plant it on the ear. Closing seconds of the fight now. Even in these closing seconds, you see the footwork of Lopez, which has been very good throughout the course of the fight. But this was a strategic battle for him as opposed to a easy type of fight for him that he's had in the past, and that he's knocked out 10 of his first 12 opponents. Number 13 was a big step up in class, and it showed, but I thought he won the fight convincingly. I scored at 78-74, and we'll see how the judges have it scored in favor of José Lopez. Coming up after this one, we get to see the sensational Felix Verdejo from San Juan, Puerto Rico, down the street from Carolina. You people that are watching outside of the United States of America and outside of the New York area, it's a huge Puerto Rican Day festival weekend here, and that's why Top Rank decided to come to Madison Square Garden with a guy named Miguel Cotto, who's moving up to middleweight to fight the middleweight champion, who's coming off injuries and out of action for about 14 months. Sometimes for a guy in his late 30s to be out of action for a while is actually very good for him. A guy with his kind of experience, they don't have ring rust, not when they put it in. That's a term that's used a lot. The guy works in the gym, had a lot of good sparring, and he has had good sparring, working mostly in Spain, getting ready for the fight. And Martinez will be ready. The question is, how's his left hand and his right knee? And we'll find out during the course of the fight. Then I had a guy coming off injury saying, nah, it's still bothering me. He was operated on twice. Raul Hidalgo came to fight. He made a fight out of it, but I don't think he was busy enough to win this fight. I got him losing the fight by 4 points. We'll see how the judges have it. All right, Lupe Contreras has it gathered up, all the score sheets. We expect a unanimous decision for Lopez, but let's make it official. So, without further ado, here he is, Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, completing the scheduled 8 rounds here at the world's most famous arena, the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden. We go to the scorecard to determine a winner. Judges Lombardi and Feldman scored about identically at 80-72. And Judge Ortiz scores at 79-73. All three in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. And still, the WBC Super Bantamweight Fecar Box Champion from Puerto Rico, the Wonder Boy, José Lopez.
Well, in the close second round, all of the judges gave that to Lopez. I thought Hidalgo might have done enough to get that. And then I also thought Hidalgo might have got a piece of the fourth round, third round action, but it didn't work out that way. The judges saw, at least two of them saw, Lopez winning everything. Here's the entrance of José Lopez, and it was a strategic battle all the way for José Lopez. There were no knockdowns in the fight. In the early going, Hidalgo tried to make a fight of it, but most of the scoring was done by José Lopez. And as the fight just continues on, it's more Lopez. It's like a highlight reel for José Lopez as he eventually won through the judges' scorecards every single round in the fight, and won all but a round or so on my scorecard, as well as Ortiz Jr.'s scorecard. So we're all in agreement. José Lopez, the unanimous decision victor here over Raul Hidalgo. But more action for you coming up next is Felix Verdejo and Engelberto Valenzuela. Another Puerto Rican against another Mexican. And that always makes for an interesting fight. The Colonel Bob Sheridan here. You're watching TopRank.com around the world. And of course our main event that's coming up later will be more than exciting. It'll be fireworks. Both guys have predicted that they will knock out their opponents. Miguel Cotto says that he'll knock out. All right, we got a little feature for you on the main event, so let's get ready to roll that, and we'll show you